And we are officially live on YouTube. What's going on, everybody? Sean, JT is reborn here, and welcome into the official Godzilla X Kong or Godzilla Kong: The New Empire Trailer 2 discussion. Held off on doing this a few days. I also want to try and get somebody on here to discuss it with me. And who better than my special guest for this particular video? None other than Adam himself, AJ Punk 15. Welcome back, sir. How have you been? Like, what's going on? Everything doing all right? You ready to talk this trailer?
Yeah, man. Excited. I've been a pretty big fan of the Godzilla series ever since. Well, I wasn't like a huge fan of the old movies, but like since the first one back in like 2013 or so, I believe.
Yeah,
I've been
2014 was when the
2014.
MonsterVerse
Yeah,
started. So
that's right. Yeah, I've been pretty into it. I got to say.
oh yeah, same here. Same here. It's been fun. Like, I mean, I've been a Godzilla fan like as far back as I can remember, and watched him on
For sure.
VHS and everything. And it's just so exciting to see one of my favorite franchises just kind of come in and just like kind of take over in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like, it's been a really fun, exciting ride, and especially like with the MonsterVerse, it's led to Toho coming back and doing their own stuff. I don't know if you had the chance to see -1 yet. I don't think it was available in the theaters near you.
No, it wasn't. Unfortunately, I did check to see if it was here locally, but unfortunately, it never got here.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But
I
when it
do
comes out on
plan on
Blu-ray,
seeing it though.
yes, when it comes out on Blu-ray at some point, you definitely got to check it out. I think you'll really dig it. I think it's a phenomenal film, and it really just delivered on all fronts in terms of like a Godzilla film. Like, it was emotional, heavy, all that other stuff. And I love the fact that we're going from that, and then obviously you had Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. I don't know if you watched Monarch at all yet.
I haven't
No?
seen Monarch yet. No.
Okay, yeah, it's worth checking out. It's like 10 episodes. Get a free subscription, then cancel after binging it. So I don't know if they'll release it on home video. I mean, the power. Kurt Russell, man, like he's so good in that show. And then his son Wyatt like plays the younger version of himself, and you get some good.
Oh, really?
Epic. Oh yeah, like you get.
I
some
didn't know
great,
that.
Oh, it's worth checking out. Like I said, it's 10
Okay.
episodes. Like I said, Kurt Russell's cemented himself as the best human character in the MonsterVerse. Although we'll see what Dan Stevens brings to the table, because I know you're a big Dan Stevens fan, right?
I am, ever since I seen him in The Guest years
Yep.
ago.
And he
I've
is
been
reunited
taken
with
him.
Yep, and he's reunited with the guest director Adam Wingard. So I guess we got somebody in the chat. Derek, I like the trailer better than the first one. I totally agree. I think this trailer is better. But I guess the first thing we got to do, we got to watch this trailer, and then we'll go ahead and dig through it, comment on things we're excited for, things we want to see, a little bit of speculation. I know there's some leaks out there for this movie. I'm trying to avoid like how it ends and all that. I know more than I probably should about the movie, but you know what? Let's watch it, man. Let's watch this thing in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, the chat can hear it too. So we're opening up here on Egypt with the 3 pyramids. It seems like we're going through the various wonders of the world too.
It does look like that, yeah.
Yep. Godzilla's going to fight in the Rome Coliseum. I know that.
Oh, that's pretty fucking cool.
Right. I mean, they're going all out, like just crazy, ridiculous action. And we see Gia back here, who seems to have some sort of like, I guess they're bringing the more mystical elements with the psychic visions and all that.
Yeah.
So she was great in the last movie, though. So she was the best performance, I think, out of the humans.
We've discovered a signal.
Rebecca Hall, of course, back again. The effects on Kong are great, though. Like, I mean, we've really like
Godzilla.
mastered ape CGI. I think.
Can feel it too.
Yeah, it's definitely
Something
peak CGI for sure.
Something even they're afraid of.
You feel like going for a ride?
There's your boy, Dan Stevens.
Hell yeah.
I like how you can see Kong chilling there too, just briefly.
Oh shit. That guy's really good too. I can't remember his name for the.
Oh, Brian Tyree Henry.
Yeah, yeah. He was really good, and like pretty much everything I've seen, Atlanta, Child Play, like.
It's not just a signal.
There's little mini Kong, also known as Suko.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, a lot more apes I would have expected in this movie.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. We have like this psychotic dictator of sorts. Boom. Oh, just sliced his hand. And here we have
like bigger than Kong almost.
Yeah, lankier but bigger.
Yeah.
And this right here is the Titan Shimo, who has ice abilities. So it's definitely like hitting the axe, and that's probably going to damage Kong's hand. Thus, where he gets the Beast Glove, which we see later on.
I'm looking forward to that. It's like when Finley got literally.
Oh yeah, he's got the
More
power
badass.
glove, man. Even the music here is like more epic and grand. They're in Rio there. But we'll go frame by frame in a second. But we just got to watch the epicness unfold.
It was almost the end of Kong.
They don't have to like each other. We just have to work together.
Boom! Oh, he knocks out his
I have
tooth.
seen everything.
That's pretty crazy.
Looks like he's doing a modified version of the nuclear pulse from King of the Monsters, but a little bit weaker since it's in his base form. Obviously, yes, anti-gravity fights.
Oh.
No, that's just like legit one of the coolest things I've seen. Like you have a giant ape flinging a building at another one with an infinity gauntlet, basically. It's so crazy. Like we've gone. I love like looking at the fact that like we start out the 2014 film, this really grounded, kind of serious one, and now we're into this more wacky, fantastical, just mashing toys together kind of at this point. Like you could feel like the excitement like of the people making it. It's like we're just gonna be kids again, just kind of going all out in this stuff too. So but yeah, so what do you think overall the first trailer or the second trailer here? Because the first trailer was fine. I liked it, but I think this trailer is a much better trailer, way more exciting and action packed.
Yeah, it's filling in a lot more of the story for sure, which I do like. It's not giving away too much, I don't think. It's saving a lot of the reveals for the actual movie itself.
And
which
you're
is
kind of
also
on
solid.
Right, and you're a little bit more on the outside, so you don't know as much going into it. So it's more exciting for you.
Yeah.
Like I get things spoiled for me quite a bit, and that's always the thing I worry. Is like, no, don't give everything away.
Well, I'm kind of like that with like the Halloween franchise. When that was coming out, I probably knew a little bit more than I should have going into films. But
Yeah,
nowadays I try to stay away as much as I can from like leaks or new information, stuff like that.
It's hard when you're like a mega fan of stuff too, because
It
sometimes like
is.
you're like you get the YouTube recommendations of like everything like spoiler related. Because
For
part of this
sure, yeah.
trailer leaked like an hour beforehand, and I'm like, I got to stay off social media because like it's like low quality and it's giving like the big stuff. And I probably watched this trailer like probably more than a dozen times because I just like I've enjoyed it so much, and it's nice like to get something excited like this. I mean, it was a good Valentine's Day gift of sorts. I think it's kind of funny how we literally have a movie called Godzilla X Kong, and they released the trailer on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I never realized that, but yeah, that's pretty good.
So, okay, let's go a little bit earlier on, frame by frame, of this trailer. Can't stay, but what's up? How you doing, Dadzilla? Good to see you. And like I said, we need Godzilla to be a dad again in the movies. It's been 20 years since Final Wars. I also like I said, we'll go through a little bit. So as you can see here, you can even see like the little camels in that too. I don't know if you can see my mouse on the screen. Okay, you can see they have little like camels here too to kind of get the sense of scale. I mean, we haven't seen Godzilla in the pyramids before, so that's something kind of new.
That's something new, yeah.
Right, and obviously we have the little warp zone portals that we've seen between Monarch and all that.
Yep.
Godzilla really does not like bridges in this universe. I like the shot too, like of the eyes in that. Like you get the sense of scale. What do you think of the pink? Do you kind of like it? You're digging it, like the Super Saiyan Rose?
I think it suits him more than the blue, personally.
Ah, cool.
And the great ape.
Like I said, this is clearly in Hollow Earth right here. I still like I mean, you got the crystallized stuff right there. I mean, the effects on Kong here look really good. And like I said, the sense of scale right here is really well done. And it's like he's very emotive too, which I think is really helpful too, because like he's obviously going to be more of a lead. There's going to be a lot of nonverbal visual storytelling in this movie, and obviously we got the Scar King there because Kong in this universe so far has been like looking for a sense of found family. I mean, obviously he kind of has G and he's had some human connections, but like he's looking for others of his kind. He's kind of been this lonely Titan for most of his life because his parents were obviously killed when he was an infant, and he was kind of left to fend things on his own. Now, there could be some spec because, like, if you go back to Kong Skull Island, you see the big handprints on the mountain. Do you remember that scene?
I do, yeah.
Okay, and now that's, I guess, supposed to be the Scar King. So the Scar King was there on Skull Island at some point. So I like to theorize that Kong's parents were maybe part of his little tribe, and then they fled because he was too, like, scary.
Yeah.
And ultimately did not work out. So, okay, so we'll have to do a quick frame-by-frame bits right here. I don't know how to get, like, some frame... Okay, right there, perfectly paused. So G is having visions, and this right here is clearly Mothra, as we can see. So, I mean, it's a lot of speculation that Mothra is back. There was something about like another rumored Titan called Phosphora. I think was it's called, because I've seen images like online, I guess, but I guess that was taken out, and we got Mothra in here now based on this thing. Like, that's to the extent that I know. I mean, they always kind of tease Mothra coming back at the end of King of the Monsters with the whole like credit stuff. Like, you know how you had the little credits where they were playing like the remix of Blue Oyster Cult, and you see all the various images on screen. And it feels like, I mean, Mothra coming back, I think, is good. I do wonder where Rodan is at this point, because, I mean, if you're going to, like, Rodan was never, like, killed on screen or anything like that. He bowed, so who knows? Because, like, a lot of, like, changes happen between King of the Monsters and Godzilla versus Kong. Godzilla vs. Kong was a much smaller scaled movie than King of the Monsters, I felt like. It was a lot more contained. But this one definitely looks to be going a lot kind of bigger and more grandiose and epic, so... I do hope they have her theme music, though. I think that would be really good.
For sure.
All right, let's skip ahead. Obviously, you got the nuclear pulse image, which we see later on in the trailer. And here we go. This feels like an image straight out of one of the Godzilla video games. I mean, obviously, the effects look a little bit from a further perspective right here. But we can see Godzilla here. There's the Ice Titan Shimo, which I guess is confirmed to be a female Titan now, and supposedly the first Titan. That's one of the rumors going on, which is kind of cool, because we haven't really had an Ice Titan. Well, I mean, in Monarch, they have this thing. They had this little thing called the Frostbark Titan, but like a pure ice opponent for Godzilla to kind of fight is pretty cool. And then obviously that's the Scar King there. I have no idea what this is right here. I mean, can you tell what that is?
I don't know. This is like one of those war portals.
Yeah, like you get the portal there. I'm just wondering what this is. Like, is it one of the He vehicles, or it's maybe another Titan of sorts? I don't exactly...
maybe that could be the scene where they escape.
Right, it could be the scene where they are escaping Hollow Earth, and Godzilla's trying to hold this thing. Look at the size difference too. Like, the Shimo's like a quadrant, like walking on all fours, like standing up, like just absolutely towers over Godzilla, as you can see.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like Godzilla's tail through the buildings. Scar King's eyes silhouetted into looks like the Shimo eyes right here in the three pyramids, which I guess is something to do with the Hollow Earth civilization. But I think she's going to be kind of like the Mothra twins kind of equivalent. Well, I mean, we had that in King of the Monsters, but like she seems to have some sort of mythical connection to the Iwis in that too. So I'm kind of curious about how that's all going to play out, if you will. And then going through here, obviously skip ahead. Some sort of signal going on. So she's feeling something. I don't know exactly what it is. Like, I guess it's the rival of that. Now, this is kind of an interesting look at Godzilla, because it's kind of like when he did his burning form. He's kind of glowing all over the place. So I wonder why he's acting up like this. I mean, do you have any speculation? Or
I have no idea, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't know, unless something like, something triggered him.
You feel like going for a ride?
Thought you'd never ask.
You can see Monarch has kind of upgraded a lot of their tech with the He vehicles. And then you can see right here, I like this little bit of Kong just kind of chilling, waiting like, all right, when are we going back down? I really love how they've updated Kong, too, for this universe. Because I've been rewatching the Godzilla and Kong series. I just watched the 76 one the other day. Going into it, like, I can't wait to rewatch Peter Jackson's one, because you've seen that one, right?
Yeah, a long time ago I have, yeah.
Like, that one is fantastic, but I feel like they've kind of made the best version of Kong we've ever had in this universe, because they do kind of like, because the other ones, it was kind of the same thing over and over again with the whole Beauty and the Beast type deal. But this one,
State Building.
right. But this one now, Kong's like huge, but like he kind of has some elements of that, like, but he's like a more protective, like father paternal type figure. And that has like the sign language thing was something I thought that they could do, like even before Godzilla vs. Kong was out, and then they finally did that. I'm like, oh, that's genius, because he's an ape, right? And apes can obviously sign. I think that's a smart thing. And he kind of was legitimately the lead character in the last movie, and I think it's interesting to see like a monster go on a hero's journey of sorts. It's not something you really typically kind of see, like with this type of storytelling, like really like letting the monsters showcase it visually and all the emotions on screen.
Try not to swallow your tongue.
What?
Jumping in here, I like how the vehicles kind of fold up in that too.
Yeah. Dan Stevens wasn't in the last movie, was he?
No, he wasn't. It was Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah, I was gonna say they keep switching characters in and out. Like Millie Bobby Brown was in King of the Monsters, and now she's not in this.
Right. So I don't know if it's scheduling conflicts or they just wanted to focus on different people. Some people are
It could
back.
be.
Obviously, Rebecca Hall, Brian Tyree Henry right
Mhm.
here is back, and Gia's back. But I mean, the monsters are back too.
Yes, yeah, that's the most important part, anyway.
Yes. And here we have Zuko, the adoptive son of Kong, as we'll come to find. So I mean, that'll be interesting to see play out on screen. Now, this right here has me intrigued too. So I think this might be a Mothra sack, because if you remember King of the Monsters when she first comes out of her little cocoon,
I do, yeah.
so it kind of had like a similar appearance to that. I have no idea what this could be. That's kind of what I'm speculating. And then there we go. There's the same handprints. I mean, does this kind of looks like an ancient structure too? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it kind of does. Obviously, that's the same like handprint we saw on Skull Island, which is kind of cool. Like that they kind of like tie that back into this in a way I would have never really like expected something like that. Obviously, not everything's planned because they're kind of making up new things for this, but I think it's kind of interesting. So, and then here we have Kong's axe. And then we have this little lair right here of the hundreds of apes. I mean, obviously, like, it's harder to showcase scale in the Hollow Earth because it is their
It's so
world.
massive.
Right, it's so massive. And we're seeing this from their perspective. It kind of reminds me of, like, you ever see the movie Ants?
Yeah.
Where, I mean, we're in the ants world, and then when we get to, like, the human, like, we see things from the ants perspective, like, in comparison with, like, the giant human stuff and all that. Like, it's, like, slowed down. But here it's kind of sped up because I think it's told from, like, their perspective. Another thing you notice, too, is the apes are kind of branded, if you will. Like, you can see some here, like, living in fear of the Scar
Yeah, it's
King.
almost like the Urukai from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, my God, that's a good point, too.
Each one had the hand of Saruman on them.
Yep, and these apes, they clearly live in fear of this guy. I like how he has his little, let's see if I can backtrack just a second. His little goons right here, and he has his little, I guess he has his little throne room chair in there too. I wonder if he built the little structure we saw in Godzilla versus Kong.
Maybe.
Man, Kong is about to get his ass handed to him, like, really badly. I feel so bad for him. Like, he's been looking his whole life for other apes. Like, oh my God, another ape just like me. And then he just finds them all enslaved by a dictator. And now he's got to try and fight. And he's like, obviously, like, this ape has had much more experience fighting.
Yeah.
Right. And he's a lot lankier. I mean, he obviously doesn't have the muscle mass, like, strength of Kong, I think, but he's obviously a much better fighter.
He's a lot faster, yeah.
Yeah, and you can see almost like that glowing crystal right here, which looks kind of like the Hollow Earth, like, crystal substances that we've seen, like, in the backgrounds and stuff too. Like, it clearly cuts his hand pretty badly. And then, of course, Shimo, the Ice Titan. Look at that. Like, he didn't show fear against Godzilla, but, like, here he looks. Well, I mean, he showed concern, but here he looks, like, terrified. Like, oh crap.
He's like shitting his pants there.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, if we could add a sound effect, just go just in the middle of that. But I mean, like I said, I mean, you can see a little bit of the eyes, a little bit of the outline of the mouth right here. I like the shot here, like, hiding behind, like, a volcano. Like, do you think that this may be like a pit of some sort, like where the Scar King throws his, or kind of like in what's a movie that had like a pit of something? Was
Star Wars?
Star Wars, exactly. Yes, I was drawing a blank on it. Maybe like he's like Jabba the Hutt or something, and he's throwing like what is it called, the Rancor?
The Sarlacc pit.
The Sarlacc pit. Okay,
Yeah.
So it's like the when he's in Jabba's palace, right?
Oh yeah, the Rancor, yeah.
Rancor, yeah. So when you throw them into the air and they're forced to kind of fight, I think that's maybe what he's doing with Shimo. But like, why does Shimo like take crap from the Scar King right here? So, but obviously Kong is he's learned from Godzilla when something's firing something, he's going to use his axe as a defense mechanism, but it's obviously not going to work so well for him. And also, like, the action visuals, like, are you feeling Dragon Ball Z-esque with some of this?
Yeah, I felt that in the last movie as well.
Right.
Especially with, I think it was like Mechagodzilla and Godzilla had that like little...
the beam clash. You have to have the beam clash. And I was hoping as soon as I'm like, you got to have the beam clash in the movie.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm kind of thinking, like, because we had the little Suko, like the little mini Kong. Like, I feel like Godzilla is going to be like a Piccolo Kid Gohan type thing with that, where he just...
I'd be all over that.
Right. I would be all that. I mean, obviously, they have the connection, if you will, because, you know, the great apes and all that. And Godzilla's just this grumpy loner in this universe, but kind of like has a soft spot for the kid.
Kong can't stop this on his own.
He won't be alone.
And then we have this shot here, which is straight out of Rocky
Pretty
3.
sick.
Right. And we have these like crazy looking crystals right here too. I'm excited for like it looks like the triangle like right here that we saw earlier on.
Yeah.
Clearly this is the ice freezing up right here. And obviously, well, in King of the Monsters we had the crucifix there. We have Jesus right here watching over this, maybe thinking of intervening finally. You can see the Scar King too, like kind of like in the corner right here, and there's the Titan Shimo blasting. I think to cause maybe another ice age or something right here. But I mean,
Yeah, you could be right on that. Yeah.
Right, like blasting into the sky. I mean, Ghidorah had the ability to terraform kind of the planet, if you will, but this is kind of a different.
That is true. Yeah, the wings of like Rodan's wings alone was like melting cities. So.
Right. I mean, it was absolutely crazy, and I mean, like I said, I'm curious to know what they do after this movie because obviously we have like alien invaders that we could probably do, or like organically created Titans, or let Godzilla have his son back. So this right here looks to be like the ancient Hollow Earth, like a civilization that lives down there, kind of like the Iwi equivalent we saw on Skull Island.
Yep.
The last time those
Good look
met up.
Kong right here. Godzilla's obviously with the pink look, destroying the pyramids, which I know people are thinking Transformers 2, but again, we haven't had the Titans on the pyramids. Dan Stevens, I don't know what the hell he's on right here.
Like each other.
I mean, he just looks like he's probably having a lot of fun. I'm sure he's gonna be very charismatic in the movie and kind of bring like, what do you think? Like
he does have that
swagger,
that certain character, swagger about him. As the kids say nowadays, the Riz.
The Riz, like he'll be like the Han of the movie.
Oh, I would say that's his character right there in a nutshell.
Okay,
gives exposition and cracks some jokes.
Almost certainly.
Work together.
Okay, this one right here. Let's go back a second. You can kind of see that. Punches him, so you can see it. Obviously, it's blurry emotion, so it's hard to make it out. But look at the size difference of Kong's arms right here, and then Scar King's got this lanky one, but he's a lot taller too. And you have little Suko here, who, he is the Kid Gohan of this group when you think about it, right?
Yeah, if I see him like power up and run and skull bash Scar in the chest, I'll be happy.
Right. I'm waiting on that too. And then, I mean, what are we looking at here? We have the Kong, we have, I guess, Raditz, right? His evil brother, and then little Kid Gohan. I'm thinking about Dragon Ball.
Would that make Godzilla Goku and die at the end?
Well, I mean, if Kong is probably the Goku, right? I mean, Godzilla's more the Piccolo.
Yeah,
he's got the purple like special beam cannon now. So, but look at this. He knocked out his damn tooth. Look at the size of that thing.
It's a big tooth. Yeah, it's the size of a car.
Yep. Okay, so now we have drones attacking Godzilla, but I don't know why he's attacking the city again. I mean, Godzilla's kind of like, you went from King of the Monsters in like 2014 was a little bit more benevolent, but like since Wingard took over, like Godzilla's been a lot angrier. Now it made sense in the last movie with the whole Mecha Godzilla thing, but I have no idea why he'd be attacking the city unprovoked. So, okay, so Gia's on here in this ancient Hollow Earth. So this is, I'd assume she might be reaching towards Mothra or something. But if we do, we got to have that music. Okay, there he is. There's a little Suko. And I threw a rock at him. Okay, I'm excited for this fight here because it's going to be in the zero gravity. Yeah. I would love it if they somehow were able to recreate Godzilla flying like in Godzilla vs. Hedorah, or do the tail slide. I feel like we got to get one of those moments because if you're going to do it, zero gravity is the way to do it. Right? Like, he uses atomic breath to kind of propel him forward in some ways. I think that'd be kind of cool. I wonder if we'll get like an army of apes attacking too or something. Or maybe this is Suko fleeing from them or something. I don't know. I think somebody pointed out in the comments here you can see Shimo. You have to really slow down the footage to see Shimo. Okay, let's slow that down for a second. I'm going to mute this for a second right here. Where's the playback speed option? Oh, there it is.
Should be right there, yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could go frame by frame. So he's roaring here. They're obviously in Rio. Ah, there he is.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, you can kind of see it in his little tail right there. Godzilla must be off to the side watching or something. Boom! Like, that is a nasty left hook right there. You could feel the satisfaction in him. But he doesn't have his bone whip there, so I wonder, like, where that's at.
True.
Okay. Obviously, go back to the nuclear pole stuff.
Perhaps it's a flashback?
Well, this is like, I mean, this is kind of current stuff, obviously, because you can see Gia there too. So we look at the previous trailer as well. We see her kind of in that ancient Hollow Earth temple. But I would love a flashback to the ancient Titan War. I think that's something I think we could really like to see. But this right here, this is interesting. Like, what is this glowing goldness? Is this supposed to be like Mothra or something else divine or mystical? I don't know.
Oh, maybe she's connected to Mothra and she's the one that brings them back out.
It might be. Boom. Oh,
It's a good throw.
I threw a rock at him. I just think back to like Batman the Animated Series. And then we have here Kong's little beast glove. Which this is just crazy and cool stuff. Like, yeah, let's give him a gauntlet. I saw a funny post on Twitter. Like, have you ever heard of the movie Remember Me?
Not that I can recall.
Oh, well, the ending of the movie, you know what? I'll tell you later, but
that whip that he's using,
yes.
you call it the bone whip?
I don't know what it's called,
But that's mechanical. It has a propulsion thing to throw that building.
Well, like it looks like it's powered by some sort of Hollow Earth like energy because it looks like a skeleton of some sort, but you can see it glowing. Maybe like Kong's axe, it's like the equivalent, or like maybe it's the blades of chaos, like he's Kratos. But yeah, you can see it glowing there. I never noticed that. But yeah, you can see it like it's powered up right there by the crystal and all that. So that's a good catch. Oh, wait a minute. I noticed something just now too. Let's pause it and look at that. Kong is missing a tooth. He's got his Joe Pesci tooth now. You see it? Okay, so he's got his Joe Pesci tooth right there. Boom, powers through like at the electricity, like it's the oh, looks like I just lost Adam on the stream. But we'll keep talking. So we got that, and then crushes the building. You get the zoom in effect. And then we see the two of them standing side by side and all their glory. Huh. I don't know what happened to Adam. So, okay, let me read some comments right here because I'm a little bit behind on that because you're going a little bit breakdown side by side. That'd be cool. Sup, this trailer was amazing. Yes, it was. The Queen is back. Yes, obviously. Glad Mothra's back. I want to see Rodan in the future movies. Yes, I'd love to see Rodan. Maybe him glowing is that signal for him. He's got some sort of connection with Hollow Earth that he senses things. Like he's linked to the planet in a way. Now that would be cool and hardcore. Like if he has like the blood and he's just like all over their faces and all that too. So yeah, we can see Shimo right there. It's really slow down. Yep. They call it Whiplash. Okay. I mean, the Whiplash thing is kind of cool. It like makes me think like Kratos Blades of Chaos. I wonder if like Kong or one of the other monsters will kind of adapt using like, or if Kong will kind of take the Scar King's weapon, or if they'll destroy it or something. Because like, there's got to be a reason Shimo is like listening to this psychotic ape, and I love that we're getting like this is the year of psychotic apes as villains like in the movies. So like, I mean, to me that's pretty cool. All right, hang on, let me check something with Adam because he kind of vanished. He just disappeared on me. Okay. Let me ask some questions right here. How you think the MonsterVerse will end? I feel like the last movie has to be Godzilla Kong destroy all monsters. To me, like if you're gonna end it, you have to go out and all out crazy and insanity. You got to have alien invasions. You got to be like the Final Wars equivalents, and you got to kind of like wrap up things and maybe like one of the characters dies or gives an emotional conclusion, or perhaps they just end positively. And so if they ever want to continue and do more, they potentially could. But I don't feel like the MonsterVerse is ending anytime soon because we still have season 2 of Skull Island, which should happen to kind of conclude that story. Monarch ended on a bit of a cliffhanger with season 1, so I'm sure they'll greenlight season 2. I think the success of this will help attribute to that. Whiplash is made from a snake. Okay, that's kind of cool, like a giant like serpentine creature and all that. So, okay, well, I just got word from AJ Punk 15 that he had to take off. Thank you for joining me on this stream, I suppose. Let me just message him really quickly. Appreciate it. Okay, cool. So I had to send a message really quickly. So I wonder if we were going to see that winged Godzilla. Well, the winged Godzilla was confirmed to be Mothra. Like, remember how Godzilla in King of the Monsters like used his like nuclear pulse attack on Ghidorah? That was the fusion between him and Mothra. Now, I wonder, like, what would happen if Mothra fused with evolved Godzilla? Like, how would that look? Would it still be the pink energy or like a golden energy? What's the next logical color for Godzilla to have? I mean, we've had like the orange red, we've had the pink, which Super Saiyan Rose, if you will. I like the pink. It kind of very reminiscent of Shin Godzilla a little bit with the purple, but it's a different color for Godzilla to kind of utilize. I mean, I think Godzilla 2000 or Megaguirus had kind of the purple dorsal plates, if I'm not mistaken. So, do you think Godzilla will be killed off in the end, like the Heisei for this Godzilla? It's potential. So. Yeah, the paint on the cavern, I think that was confirmed to be Godzilla with Mothra's wings. It wasn't really him flying. I think that's what KDM said. So that's I could be mistaken, but I believe that's the case. So we got that going on here. Now I want to ask everybody, like, what is their favorite part of this trailer? I also like the music here at the end too. Let's see. Normal. Like you can hear, let me play the music really quickly. It's almost like they're singing like Godzilla Kong. So, all right, we got all that crazy stuff right here. So yeah, Godzilla Kong, the new empire. I'm excited for when this movie finally releases next week. I think it's going to be like really cool and just or next week, next month. Good God, Sean, what are you doing? I'm really excited and like whatever they're going to like pull off in this next movie because we got so much crazy stuff right here. Godzilla clearly hates bridges. Kong is coming out. Looks like the Hollow Earth. I wonder if Axis Mundi will play a factor into this movie because we showcased it in Monarch Legacy of Monsters. Godzilla glows very pink in that shot. I think he's supercharged. Yeah, I think so too. Kong scared of the Shimo is my favorite part. Yeah, Kong being terrified of Shimo is great. Like it shows like his concern, like, oh, I'm way out of my league. He didn't have that reaction to Godzilla, but because Shimo's a lot larger, I wonder how he would have reacted to Ghidorah at some point. So I'm curious to know about like Shimo and like how that's going to connect with Godzilla because Godzilla. They mentioned him having some sort of fear, and Godzilla generally never showcases fear at all. So him being afraid of something is like rather interesting. Like he's kind of like he'll fight till he dies, basically, till his last breath, and like even when he's like outmatched, like Kong has bailed him out in the last movie. So I'm hoping Godzilla kind of gets like a one up on Kong, if you will, because like I mean, obviously he won the fight. But in the last movie, Kong saved his life. Now Godzilla has to kind of do the same for him. Like he could just let him die, but he's got to be there to kind of help him. So, I mean, Kong is a very clear kind of story right here. Like he's been looking for other apes of his kind, adventure, and finally finds one in the vein of Suko. Okay, this right here looks like after he's hurt. So I assume this is like after he loses to Scar King and Shimo for the first time, realizing he's completely outmatched at the hands of these various titans. And look at the look of concern in his eyes. But I also like too that this is kind of a little bit of like it kind of like mirrors what happened in Godzilla vs. Kong when he was kind of scared and panicking on the boat, if you will, and then Gia was there to kind of comfort him. So I like how they still have that special bond, and maybe Kong's special bond with Gia also has to do with her having some sort of visions, if you will, of things going on. Perhaps like she is the link between humankind and Titans, that special link that certain ones have been kind of looking for. Yep, the atomic pulse scene was pretty sweet. I'll admit that. But yeah, so the snow bits right there, and then of course we see the symbol of the pyramids. All right, let me go back right here. We'll go frame by frame for a second with Gia's stuff because like there's things that's like it's hard to kind of showcase at normal speed. So we'll go playback. I didn't play it. Nope. Why can I not pause? Pause it right there. Let's see if I can. If there's anything I missed. Jump cut right there. dang it. I missed it again. I'm trying to like pause it right at this moment right here. Hang on. Okay, so she's got some glowing energy off her hand right there. So that's probably like when she goes into Hollow Earth. And there's the look at Mothra right there. Back to the shot of Godzilla with the nuclear pulse. I wonder if these are visions of Godzilla and it's not actually him attacking anything. And of course, we have the Titans right there. You can see kind of something right here. I don't know, like, it looks like a little hint of Shimo right here. Hang on, we'll pause it. It's hard to do this frame by frame. Because they flash a lot of stuff in like a second right there. Okay, this looks like Shimo. Okay, this looks like Shimo right here. You can see the tail. You can kind of see the silhouette. Some sort of glowing energy as well. And of course, there's Shimo in the buildings, it looks like, attacking. And then we have these glowing grids. Okay, you can see Godzilla's tail right there. And there's Shimo once again. And Scar King and the eye silhouette with the pyramids. That's obviously her nightmares going on. So, okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's skip ahead. There's Godzilla glowing right there. Yeah, we can kind of get a sense of the scale better. There's him leaving right here. I wonder, like, when this happens in the movie, too. Is this, like, after... I think this might be after the Rome bits we've seen in the trailer. So, him just kind of leaving. He's concerned about something. He knows something's up. So, okay. Let's see this one. So, kind of want to answer your question. Will Godzilla die in this movie? I don't think so, because of the universe might build. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't think they're going to die just yet. I think they're, like, this... If they would, they build it as the finale. Almost looks like Kong is running for Godzilla's fire. Oh, yeah. They're definitely not on good terms. I know they're definitely fighting in that scene because Kong is clearly running from the atomic energy breath or something. Or maybe like Godzilla's it's another Titan that's there. But they definitely have to like come to some terms of agreement at some point. Yeah, I hope so too. I hope like the end credits bit is something that they've never showcased in any of the test screenings too. I think that'd be kind of the smart move. Never have it on anything. Only exclusively like for people at the studio, so it's not leaked or anything like that. Yeah, that's Starmaster 996. That is Shimo, the Ice Titan that we've seen in a lot of the toys and all that too. It's like they have Shimo in there a bit, but kind of hidden a little bit. Obviously, she is on the merchandise and all that stuff too. But they're still kind of like keeping a lot of the big stuff for the movie. And like I said, Kong gets a lot of focus. Godzilla doesn't have that like big epic Godzilla moment in the trailer, I think. I mean, well, he has the nuclear pulse, but I feel like a lot of the crazy Godzilla stuff they're saving for the movie and just to kind of see what he does next. I mean, Godzilla just appeared in Monarch 2, so and he had -1, so it's not like he's not getting enough attention. Obviously, these movies are I feel like they're more Kong focused because it's easier kind of like showcase emotion and do things with him. And I'm not sure. I keep hearing all these specific rules Toho has for the stuff. So exactly. They don't have to like each other. They just have to work together. Godzilla dies, I'll cry just like I cried. Oh yeah, we're all. I'd be shedding some tears. I was gonna say I think it was gonna be the closest thing we're gonna get to a world's finest, but with two giant monsters. Oh yeah. Look at his hand. It's frostbite. Yep. Definitely some frostbite. That's where he's got to wear the glove. Close working on my future. Gareth Edwards made another movie. I don't think Gareth Edwards is ever going to come back. He still loves Godzilla, obviously. Like you see him with Takashi Yamazaki, a lot of things too. Now, I guess Monarch can make their own Hollow Earth portals at this point. It is kind of cool that we have these vehicles, and like I like him having the thumbs up and having fun right there. We'll see how Bernie is this time around. I hope they make it a little bit funnier because like there was a few bits that was kind of entertaining, but I like the new Heave vehicles. I think they look pretty cool. Now wait a second, did I see some? Okay, I think I noticed for the first time it looks like some other Titan life forms off to the side, maybe, or is that just glowing rocks I'm seeing? Okay, yeah, it looks like just glowing rocks or something. But Kong meeting Suko for the first time will be pretty interesting. I'm excited to see his reaction here because he has spent his whole life looking for other apes. But like you see it right there, he's like ready to fight, but then he sees him and then he's like, huh? So I'm glad Millie Bobby Brown is in here again. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like I don't see Millie Bobby Brown really coming back to the series at this point. I mean, she did what she did. She was better in King of the Monsters than GVK, I think, but that's just me. Yeah, let's see some mutants. Let's go like crazy. I want some alien invaders in this franchise. Like I want the Simians or the Exilians. Or you know what, do the Space Hunter Nebula M stuff. I feel like Wingard would probably be into that. Okay, we can go frame right here. You know, I was watching Kong 76 the other day, and Kong's lair in that kind of feels in some ways similar, like with the pit and all that, but obviously they add all these other things. I wonder if there's like a little tribute to that. But yeah, this is kind of neat. Like, I wonder, like, where do they eat? Like, I mean, this is just these mountainous like creatures and all that too. What I like to like look at Kong's like facial expressions right here. He's able to emote and stuff. I feel like with the recent Planet of the Apes movies, like we've really been able to showcase in a VFX standpoint, like how emotive these like creatures can kind of be, and it's fascinating to really kind of look on screen. So obviously, Scar King, like look at the details on the little cracks in his forehead and the bits of hair in that right too. So I can see a War of the Gargantuas type influence. And then we have these other apes here just kind of pounding on the ground. These are obviously branded by the Scar King. And then there's his little whip that he has right there. Whiplash, I guess. I mean, that's kind of cool. But you can see like other apes kind of branded, and Suko does not want to be that way. I think that's where he goes looking for Kong. And he got his little goons right there. Look at how like lanky he is with his arms and all that. But that's clearly the orangutan right there. Like that's got to be like 1,000-foot drop that he just kind of did. I also like too that they kind of just get right. Okay, that's a good point right here. Scar King and Chino share the same eye color. Maybe they share a psychic connection. It's possible because like there's obviously some things of prophecies and all that going on in this film too. So they got the more mystical elements that they're kind of diving into. Boom. And look at that. Like you have his glowing little weapon. He knows how to apprehend Kong in that way. And the other apes are kind of watching in that too. Kong tries to grab it and he just gets sliced right there. Boom. Ah, like that's got to hurt. So I really like this reveal of Shimo in the trailer. I think it's pretty cool. Obviously, they're keeping her more silhouetted, but just hiding behind like molten lava and all that, kind of similar to like Rodan in a lot of ways. But I wonder like if Shimo was there when Ghidorah attacked, or if it was just Godzilla. Yeah, I don't think they'd spoil that. I feel like that's something you got to kind of wait and see, or maybe they keep it ambiguous with him. But yeah, you can see a little bit of Shimo's outline of her mouth. But yeah, he's going to have the frostbite or something. But Kong's axe is clearly going to get destroyed right here. I love the axe. I think it's like really cool. But having him kind of lose his biggest weapon, like that's really kind of the test of like his hero's journey he's on. And damaging, like you can see the ice build up on his hands too. So you can't really see it as much at like full speed because there's just so much kind of coming at you with the trailer and all that too. And Bernie's obviously got all these little emblems on his arm right here. I do feel like the trailer, like the way they kind of move here, is a little bit, maybe this playback speed of it comes across a little bit better. I mean, I enjoy them running together. I think it's kind of fun. And then obviously we have the big guy right here. You can see little like his little designs, how they kind of spike up and glow when he's kind of like utilizing some energy. I like he doesn't look as like, it feels like they kind of adjusted him a little bit, makes him a little bit like bulkier than as thin as he was beforehand. Maybe they did some tweaks and all that. So rise together. There's obviously Rio, so they're freezing the wave at once. I mean, two movies with the title Empire coming out like a week apart with each other have to deal with like ice things, like Ghostbusters Frozen Empire and Godzilla Kong the New Empire. And we also have the Year of the Apes too. Oh, cool. Yeah, I saw a little bit like of extra footage of Godzilla, like getting a better look at his design, and like he's very expressive right there too. So I think that's pretty cool. So okay, so obviously like Shimo Scar King. I wonder where Kong's at this point. Maybe he's like him and Godzilla are gonna. Maybe that's where the. So I think maybe they attack and then they emerge to Rio, And then Godzilla and Kong, that's them running together where they have to kind of like work together to kind of stop this threat, comes in. So we got that right there. Buildings being taken down. Bernie. Okay, so there's Eileen Andrews right there. And then there's this other lady. Oh, yeah. Spiky looking Godzilla is it's good. I like it. I mean, I love Godzilla. Hey, Tokupunk. Welcome in to the stream. Hope you're doing okay. Just going through the trailer one more time and kind of discussing things. Or Fall Alone. I like the music in this trailer too, like especially in this more recent. Like I said, it's just a better trailer than the last one. Look I like the details of the sand too, like coming off Kong, and then Godzilla's firing at something. It feels directed, unless I can't see anything else right in the scene. But yeah, it's clearly directed like at Kong right here, unless there's something else we're not kind of seeing the way it's edited. But they clearly aren't getting along so well. And of course, there's Dan Stevens. And look at him. He's kind of smiling too, like at Kong. Like, I mean, Godzilla's still like he's such a jerk, like since the last movie. Because like he was more benevolent beforehand, like between like 2014 and between Monarch Legacy of Monsters, King of the Monsters, and 2014, Godzilla's way more benevolent. But since like Wingard took over, like Godzilla's just been an asshole. Like just unapologetically, just does not care at this point. He's just angry and ticked off. I think he's just been ticked off at humans for just making Mechagodzilla and making his life hell. And of course, you get Shimo right there. Boom, man! What a punch! What a punch! I don't think Bernie will have his drink again. I feel like he kind of solved that issue beforehand. Didn't like the first trailer. I was mixed on Monarch series, but this trailer is the most I've been since King of the Monsters trailer. Yeah, this trailer was great. The Egypt scene is going to be fun. We haven't seen Godzilla and Kong. I know some people are like upset that we're not seeing them attack Japan, but one of the things I like about the MonsterVerse is we're getting to see the Titans and Godzilla and that in other locations, if you will. I mean, I have seen Godzilla attack Japan so many times at this point that I want to see him go to different places. I'd like to see him in Rio. Like we got Boston, we got Hong Kong, we're getting Egypt now. I think to me that's more exciting than just this. Maybe he's refueling on getting some sort of energy right here or something. I don't know what Godzilla is doing like in the rain right here. That's his one that I'm kind of intrigued by. Yeah, he might just want nuclear energy or something right here. King of Monsters trailer are awesome, but they spoiled too much, especially after the second trailer. Yeah, I mean, they gave away Burning Godzilla. Like, you know what? Let's blame the toys more than anything and people kind of leaking everything. Because, like, when it comes to, like, the MonsterVerse stuff, a lot of the stuff just gets, because of all the test screenings they do, and there's a lot more money behind them, a lot of stuff gets kind of revealed, especially if you're more in tune with the fandom. Like, we just kind of know more than I think we should going into a lot of these movies, but it's kind of hard if you're like really deep within it and like within it to kind of avoid some of that stuff. Like my friend Adam was saying at the beginning of the video, like he's very into the Halloween franchise, much like myself. But he's like more into it than I am. So he knows things that he shouldn't necessarily know about the movies. Cause like I said, if you're more in tune with that fandom, leaks and that get spread around and information gets passed along. So, the shots Hurricane Tooth Light. Yep. I understand Godzilla's story. He starts as a monster train, becomes the king, then he becomes angry. He's now like a Super Saiyan. Okay, I think it's going to be more than that. Yeah, like Godzilla. I mean, King of the Monsters had the most. Like, I feel like King of the Monsters is the best portrayal of him in the MonsterVerse. Now, I know GVK was kind of changed around in from the version that was originally filmed. So, like a lot of it was kind of cut out and tweaked compared to where it was at beforehand. So obviously we're going to see something like a bit. I mean, like I said, it's just, I feel like they kind of, we showcased his stuff a little bit more in that original version of the movie. Apparently, like they were using like the Orca Z in that, and Godzilla was getting like crazy in that. And I heard bits that Ren Serizawa built Mechagodzilla as a means to kind of mock Godzilla and like mock his father and all that. And I also heard stuff that they were using like a signal to make Godzilla think there was another of his kind or whatnot to kind of torment him and stuff. I've heard all sorts of things about the original version of King of the Monsters or Godzilla versus Kong. So I think they explained it a little bit better, but then they kind of just like made it like, oh yeah, he's just kind of angry and dickish. So I would like a little bit more development for Godzilla in the series. Kong is getting great stuff, but Godzilla is kind of just Like, he gets the cool entrances and cool moments and all that too, but I want a little bit more because I think King of the Monsters just kind of showcased him the best in the series so far. Like, my favorite scene in the Monsterverse is still the goodbye old friend scene between Godzilla and Serizawa. It's like this nice, tender, touching moment between Godzilla and a human, and it's something that I like to see a little bit more of. Now, we're getting a lot of great stuff with Kong, no complaints there, but I do want to see a little bit, like, I want to see some development to Godzilla's character a little bit too. I also want to maybe see a little bit into his past. Like, do you ever wonder if Godzilla perhaps was not always in the same role that he is in right now? Perhaps he, like, the Titan War kind of changed him in a lot of ways. Like, was Shimo another, like, character like him in a way? They were there to kind of protect the planet, or to protect the planet itself, like the two of them, and things got out of hand and Godzilla did his stuff and things changed from there. I don't exactly know. I do wonder, like, there's so much mystery with the backstory of Godzilla. With Kong, we kind of get everything. His parents were killed, he was born in a battle, and because, you know, if you read Skull Island Birth of Kong, which is still canon, I guess, you get to see how he kind of changed in that over time. But with Godzilla, there's a lot more mystery with his past, and I would like a graphic novel that kind of tells the story of the Titans of the past, like an official canonized one, like told from Godzilla's perspective, and just kind of see maybe a young version of him and how he evolved, and maybe he and Shimo kind of had this closer connection and kind of took care of things, and then things changed, obviously. So we'll see what's going to go on. Mechagodzilla toy also leaked. Yeah, Mechagodzilla's toy leaked, and when I saw that, I'm like, wait, what? Because the Monsterverse just keeps getting more and more crazy. Like, if you would have told me for King of the Monsters that, like, when 2014 came out, we'd get Mechagodzilla, I wouldn't have believed you, because that would be so grounded and serious. That's right. Where is Titanus Doug? I don't know where Doug is at. I'd like to see him. Well, I mean, we do get plenty of Godzilla solo movies, and I'm not opposed to it, but I'm okay with the team-up stuff. There might be a different version of Godzilla. I think it's just a rumor. We might learn more soon. Yeah, I think Godzilla's going to be... It's just him evolving in that, too. I think that's what he means by different versions of him. I want to see a flashback to the ancient Titan War. That's the stuff I want to see most of all. I hope we get some sort of flashback, even if it's very brief or something like that. Maybe it's told in, like, its own unique, visually interesting kind of way. But that's something I want to see. So, and I'm excited for them to kind of meet the Hollow Earth Iwi people, if you will. Now, you see the sparks right there. So clearly they're trying to find some way to pay tribute to Kong's lightning powers by not necessarily giving it to him, but like having him do something kind of like that. But okay, Skarking lifting a building around, wrapping around, throwing it. Now the effects there look a little bit kind of off, but it's kind of blurred in motion. But that's still one of the coolest things I've seen. Here, let me just like that. To me, that's just cool. And then we have them kind of looking up and kind of forming an alliance of sorts. So you mentioned with the origins of how Alien vs. Predator fight each other. I understand what you mean. Alien vs. Predator? 10 out of 10 shot. Absolutely. 10 out of 10. Masterful. Chef's kiss. All that other stuff. So I'm trying to think of what else to kind of say and speculate on this movie. Like I said, I don't want to look into too many leaks and all that too. Some stuff does get kind of showcased to me, like whether I intend to or not. I don't know how this movie ends. I don't know if there's a post-credit scene. I just kind of know some basic ideas of things. I know Shimo, obviously we have the toys and all that going on, but I think from here, I'm okay if we don't get any more trailers. We'll probably get some TV spots or something like that. Like, you can just get that, but I think I'm okay on trailers for right now. I mean, if I had another one, that'd be pretty cool. But I feel like I'm pretty good for that. Both hate each other, and I can see that. Oh, yeah, something like that. A quick flashback there. Oh, yeah, believe me. I mean, I have my Let's Talk account. People kind of spoil things a lot, and I know more than I probably should. It's kind of weird because, oh, yeah, Kong definitely has that silver too. That's cool. Yeah, when it comes to that, like, people just have no problem just sharing everything they know about the movie and complaining about it without actually seeing the context or things in action. Because, like, before, like, this trailer came out, everyone's like, oh, this is going to be some of the most things. But then people saw the trailer like, damn it, that shit was really cool. So I feel like we should just kind of wait and see how things are executed in action, because we haven't seen the movie, right? I mean, things on paper may sound crazy and ridiculous, but work really well in terms of execution. So that's what I'm just kind of holding out for. We'll see how like things go. Like the movie, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I've heard it's really fun. Like I said, I guess test screenings have been very strong for it. I hope they've withheld things from those to kind of like, if we want to get some like, some big reveals and all that too. So we'll see how that all turns out. I am excited to see how this movie like plays out. Like I said, I'm really stoked for this thing. I felt in a good mood since the trailer came out. It's really exciting. It's really epic. It's really action packed. We get all sorts of crazy things going on within it. And like I said, as a Godzilla fan, I'm eating good. I just had -1. Fantastic. Saw it in theaters 3 times. Very heavy, very serious, very emotional. But now I'm getting something that's more kind of upbeat, fun, action-packed, geared more towards kids. Yeah, they have some crazier stuff, which obviously is there to kind of meant to help sell toys. Yeah, people are kind of like that. So it is what it is, I suppose. I mean, you don't have to like these movies. I mean, there's a bit of Godzilla. There's a different take on Godzilla for everyone, really. Like you want a serious Godzilla, you can go to Godzilla -1. You want something a little bit more fantastical, you can watch this. Yeah, all these different things. Yeah, I found that out too, like the other day, because like it's gone back and forth. Like Shimo's male, Shimo's female, and like as soon as I was thinking like, okay, I'm cool with Shimo being like Shimo being like female, because we don't really have a lot of female Titans within the. Was it on the figure package? Because I feel like I've seen so many different variations of the figure packaging. But I think that's cool because there's not a lot of female Titans like that Godzilla faces off against. I mean, you have Mothra, obviously. Well, not every version of Mothra, but like generally Mothra, Biollante is another one, Megaguirus. Those are like the big 3. I mean, the female Muto. But I think Shimo being kind of the female Titan of a MonsterVerse, like a really big one. So between Shimo male and female, I wish I saw that conversation. Yeah. Somebody joked that Shimo's Godzilla's angry ex-wife. I don't know. Like, I mean, Godzilla to me has always been like male. Some people speculate that there potentially could have been a female Godzilla. Like, if you go but in the films, like, he's just been the king of the monsters. So, oh yeah, Kong realizes he is done. Like, he needs Godzilla. Like, he needs the king of the monsters back this time around. Like I said, I'm excited to see how their dynamic kind of plays. I don't think they're going to be able to recreate the handshake. I mean, look at the size differences, but like maybe they can do like a fist bump or something kind of cool, like a hug or something. Like I said, I would love for the handshake to be recreated somehow, but like Kong's hands are like gigantic compared to Godzilla's. I mean, look at the size of like Kong's hand right here, and then look at Godzilla's like skinny little arms. I mean, he's been working out, and he's taller than Kong. He's got the tail and all that, but like he's just, yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, lots of cool stuff right here. Action-packed, epic, and they're running together like it's Rocky. Thanks for subscribing. Appreciate it. Like I said, I like when people subscribe and all that too. It puts me in a good mood. So, yeah, like I said, there's so much stuff right here. A lot of craziness, speculation, and all that other stuff. Yes, we got to get the drop kick. I feel like they're going to do the drop kick. I think Godzilla's going to do the jump from... There's a few things I'm speculating on. The drop kick is going to be in this. We're going to either get the drop kick, or you know what? I think I have a way to do the drop kick. Shimo fires like her ice blast on the ground. Godzilla's kind of running and then like slides on his tail to kind of kick into something. That's how I would do the drop kick. Like have it be like because Shimo's like creating like if you think back to the Incredibles when Frozone's kind of like moving himself and he's kind of creating little ice like structures, if you will, to kind of slide on. That's the way I kind of integrate Shimo or Godzilla kind of doing the tail slide. I think that'd be kind of cool. Yes, and then we need Godzilla flying, like in Godzilla vs. Hedorah. Like with the anti-gravity, it's kind of the best way to do that. Oh yeah, I'd love to see Jet Jaguar. If they want to go hard, I hope they bring back Godzilla tail kick. Yep. Godzilla's supposed to run. Yeah, Godzilla's run like several times beforehand. The great thing about Godzilla is you can do so much with the character. You can kind of reinterpret it into very like many ways. And I love all different aspects of Godzilla. I love the serious. I love the campy. I'm glad that we have a variety. So if you don't like the more serious stuff or you like the more campy stuff, you can always go check out like one of the different like 30 plus movies. That's what's great about this franchise. If it just stayed one way, it would get kind of boring and feel kind of stale. But because they're willing to experiment, do new things and creative things, and that's what makes it more interesting to me. Because like we get a variety of that. I mean, the most consistent Godzilla has been, I think, was the Heisei era. But like if you go to the Showa era, you go to like 1954's Godzilla, and then you go to King Kong vs. Godzilla, which is way campier than that first movie. Like it is like a definite leap. Where you go to Mothra vs. Godzilla, which is kind of a little bit more serious. Ghidorah, three-headed monster. Like I mean, that's kind of like where the shift in his character happens. Obviously, it's like the second Godzilla. And then you go to something like Son of Godzilla. It's him being a dad, which like, to me, I rewatched that one. I really like Son of Godzilla. Like that one's a lot of fun for me, and I like the little kind of tender moments. I even like Godzilla's Revenge, which that movie is insanely crazy, but it's something different and unique. And then you go to Godzilla vs. Hedorah, which is like the weirdest of the weird. Then Godzilla vs. Gigan, you have him kind of talking at one point, and then you go Godzilla vs. Megalon, which is the most goody good Godzilla you could probably have. He's shaking hands. Jet Jaguar just pops up and he's like, "Okay, yeah, I'll help out." So there's so many different ways you can kind of like interpret Godzilla, and I just like I said, I love it. I love like being able to change and do all sorts of unique things. So yeah, so like Kong, I think, well, I mean Godzilla, like it depends on like how you define power. Like Godzilla's got the nuclear pulse. Like Godzilla's more dangerous than Kong, obviously. Like Kong, I think has like maybe some raw strength in terms of like being able to pick things up and all that too. I think he's got like some advantages for Godzilla. He's a lot more agile. He's probably, well, I mean, he showcases more intelligence, but Godzilla kind of like, you don't underestimate Godzilla's intelligence in these movies. Like he's smart, he knows things, but he doesn't communicate like the same way Kong can. Like we can't necessarily relate to Godzilla the exact same way as Kong because he's like more closer linked to humans. He's more emotive, he does sign language and all that too. Although I would like to see Godzilla showcase and like ways of communicating in that too. So yeah, Gypsy Avenger would get its ass kicked by Godzilla. That's just that. Well, you know, you have more subs than me, Bryson Tunes. I'm at like 2,000 something, and I've been kind of stuck at that for a while. So, yeah. All right. Well, I've gotten past the 1 hour mark. Does anybody have any other questions or anything to discuss before I shortly end the stream? Because I got to get going within the next like 10, 15 minutes or so. So I'd love to hear what everyone else thinks or anything else they want to talk about really quickly. So before the movie starts, like before we end this, Godzilla would get strength for picking up Ghidorah and Muto Prime. He has Q because doesn't. Yeah, Godzilla's smart. I know it's anything, but we'll be close. Yeah, I mean it'd be kind of interesting, but I feel like with Pacific Rim, like I mean I don't really feel like I want the multiverse anymore. Okay, let's see. Godzilla gets strength for picking up Ghidorah and Muto Prime. He has a decent IQ because he doesn't understand English. Okay, that was the last question. Was that the question? Trailers done enough yet. I don't see anything after this. I want to be surprised. Yeah. So what was the last question, Bryson Toombs? Okay. I'm starting to lose my voice. This is what happens when I talk straight for like an hour. But anyway, so I was going to ask everyone in the question or the comment section this time. What are you most looking forward to in the new Empire? Like, is it Godzilla? Is it Shimo? Is it Kong? Is it Tsuko? Is it Scar King? Is the return of Mothra? Which, if Mothra comes back, like when Mothra comes back, I need that Yuji Koseki. I need that Mothra theme music. It would, if we get like some bootleg version of it, I'll be disappointed. Like that's just for me. Like Godzilla, yeah, they've changed the theme numerous times, and but Mothra needs that theme music. Yeah, I don't like Pacific Rim Uprising. That movie is like one of my biggest disappointments ever at the theater. I knew we were in trouble from like the first trailer, and I was like, oh no Del Toro, no this, no that. But yeah. Okay, looking forward to seeing all the Godzilla scenes. Same here. Honestly, everything. Let's do that. I agree. Need the music. If I hear the music, I'm going to be in heaven inside. Thank you, Bob. Okay. Yeah, but Legendary has the money too. I wish Toho would like do some sort of package deal for all that stuff, because I mean they make all the money from the movie like when it goes into Japan, like they get full distribution rights. So they're just making bank. Like I mean, they have a great partnership with Legendary because Legendary makes these big, huge, expensive movies, and Toho from there is able to kind of like greenlight a Godzilla -1, and like, you know, the popularity of the character just continues onward. But it's the variety and like how things are kind of like changing and all that, like with different tones and different all that stuff, making a unique series. Like, because like this and -1, so totally different. And that's what's beautiful about it. Like we get a nice variety. I even saw a picture recently. It was Adam Wingard and Takashi Yamazaki like standing together, taking pictures with their different Godzilla designs. That's great. Yes, definitely need Destroyer. I would love to see Gigant. Space Godzilla, I feel like, should be the final. I don't know. It's like tough for me. Like, do you make Destroyer or Space Godzilla the final bad? Yes, we need a new console Godzilla game. We have so many mobile tie-ins, and it's just it's ridiculous. Like give us a final, like give us a new console game. I've heard rumblings the MonsterVerse is making a console game, but until I see it, I'm just gonna like hold out and just wait. The GameCube one, okay. So you have Destroy All Monsters Melee. Save the Earth's my favorite though. Godzilla's approaching the generator. The generator is losing power. Unleashed is pretty good too. I feel like that's the last good Godzilla game. Yeah, so that'd be fun. I think they're making a MonsterVerse game at some point. That's what I've heard. So, but anyways, I feel like I've kind of rambled on long enough. I want to thank everybody for joining me and discussing and breaking down Trailer 2, Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. This one has a much more positive reception than the first trailer did. I like the first trailer, but it was kind of like more of a vague. They should have just called that teaser trailer, if you will, because like this one, a lot more exciting action, a lot more epic, and just badass. So, but yep, there's some copyrighted Roblox. So yeah, so thank you everybody for joining in the stream. It's been a fun time. I got to get going, but I appreciate it. I'm definitely going to try and do more of these live streams. It was nice to get my friend on for just a little bit. We'll see how things go from here with the Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. I'm sure they might do like maybe another, I don't know if they'll do another trailer, but they'll probably do some sort of teaser of sorts. So, or like TV spots and all that too. So, but yes, so subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. I mean, you're probably already here, so you probably have, but got more Godzilla stuff coming up, probably some more comic book reviews and all that other stuff. I may do some more Godzilla reviews next month. I mean, there's probably going to be some comics coming out, but there's also the graphic novels I could probably talk about as well. So I'm in an excited Godzilla mood. I can't wait for this movie. It's the most #1 anticipated film of the year for me. Obviously, I just love Godzilla and the whole series as a whole, but yeah, so that's all I have to say. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out, everyone.